तेन शगनद चर्या सखियों नी वेरा सजया.
From the Garden State, New Jersey, from one mom to another, it's time for Mom's Talk. Here's Avni.
Welcome, Supermoms, to another episode of Mom's Talk. We have with us today a supermom who is connected with many, many moms in New Jersey. And her experience can teach us a lot of things. Let's talk to Hinna Scully. Hinna, you're very welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me. So excited to be here. Carry
You're
on.
looking perfect and
Thank you.
you're looking gorgeous.
Thank you so much. There's a bit of a story behind how this entire thing happened, but I will save you. I will save that entire escape. But yeah, it took a little bit to come together today. Let's just say that.
Well, that's a part of mom's life. So yes.
Yep. Yes, it is.
All right, Hinna. Tell me a little bit about what motivated you to have this platform where you're helping out a lot of moms.
I was in college. I guess I graduated college around 21, and soon after, I had an arranged marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And things got a little rocky. I had my daughter, which is the best thing in the entire world. Don't tell my second daughter. I'll, reiterate that as she gets older. But it's just one of those things where when you're in a certain situation where you lose a lot of friends from college because you're not going to be in touch with college friends until you both make the effort. And
True.
the fact that I did get married months after graduating,
Mm-hmm.
and they were still living life. They were still, maybe going to their master's program, maybe going through other nitty-gritties of life and such, or working.
Yeah.
And here I am trying to navigate through, like, calling my mom on a daily basis saying, like, how do I cook this? Because I learned how to cook from my dad. So one of the first things he taught me how to make was like bhindi and then aloo keema. Those are like staples. So
Yeah.
I had it and I knew it. But other than that, my mom would say, okay, I'm going to teach you how to make biryani. And I would wash the rice and I would leave it there. And then I would go watch TV. And then, Avni, magic, 2 hours later, there was biryani on the table. It was like, I don't know how it happened. And then I remember once I washed the rice after I had gotten married and I had put it to the side. And I went back in 2 hours and there was no biryani because I had to make it because mom wasn't there. So
Yeah.
that was a very sad day, and that's where I realized that I needed to kind of bring that home.
Yeah.
And one quick story I'll tell you, and this is my family, everybody in my whole life practically knows this, so like notorious. For the first 6 months when I had gotten into this arranged marriage situation, I was learning how to cook. I was like, what is this? How do I cook this? And this is before camera phones because we weren't there yet.
That would have been a challenge.
Oh, no FaceTime, no, YouTube hadn't kicked off yet. And my ex's mom had brought like this one vegetable and I just stared at it for 10 minutes and I'm like, I am screwed because I don't even know what it is. And I was too young to really question like, what is this? How do I make it? I just wanted to prove myself, I guess, at that point. So I called my mom. I was like, we have a problem. I need to cook this, but I don't know what to tell you what it is. And she was like, okay, explain it. I was like, okay, वो क्या होता है जो प्याज की तरह दिखता है लेकिन आलू जैसा कटता है. And so what looks like a red onion but cuts like a potato.
You've made
and
me
then we're
thinking
sitting there.
too now. I'm thinking, what is that?
What is it? Think of a red onion, but it cuts like a potato. Shaljam. So I had to, for the first time in my life, learn to make shaljam and recognize what it is because I had no idea how to. So, I mean, long story short, I think, getting out of that entire situation, I did get divorced, went through that whole roller coaster of life. But when I got out of it, I realized that, you know what, I was so alone and I could have used support, whether it was, I don't know if you noticed in the group, but I've gone through, when my dad's been in the hospital, my niece was sick, and I would post out, or even friends and friends' children, I would say like, hey guys, can I just get some prayers? Tough times, and this is what's going on. And I would even, post maybe the name of a child or my parent or something saying like, I need it. the amount of people, Avani, that would come through and be like, we're praying for you. And even send me personal messages and say like, hey, we got you. Don't you worry. Everything's going to be fine. I didn't have that. And it just kind of made me think how many people in the world are such that they don't have it. And even from a social media perspective, even from the strangers that we constantly, meet and become friends with or acquaintances with, the impact that they have in our lives is so tremendous. And I didn't have it. I needed it, but I knew that there were so many more in my situation who could use it too. And to be honest, that's where it happened. That's where the mommy group came to be.
Perfect. And you're absolutely right that we do need that support, and that support goes a long, long way. Hinna, what are your learnings from your life experiences? अभी तक आपके life में जो experiences हुए हैं, उसके जो सीख है, अगर वो आप हमारे साथ share कर सकती हैं, हम all with all the moms, that would be wonderful.
I think there's a lot. I think, in मैंने एक छोटी सी जिंदगी में बहुत जी चुकी हूँ. Let's just say that. So I've been through a lot of roller coasters in life, a lot of struggles and such. But the best part is, like you said, सीख मिलती है. हर बात में सीख मिलती है.
That's
You
true.
learn
Yeah.
from the trials, and it's what you make of it and what comes out of it. So, I mean, as far as relationships are concerned, and I'm going to speak overall, right? Like, सिर्फ शादी नहीं, लेकिन दोस्ती and any kind of partnerships you have, even with your children and stuff, I think number one thing has to be respect. Love is fantastic. Love is great. It's not a fairy tale. It exists. I promise
It makes
you, I will
wonders
tell you.
happen.
It does. The rainbows are going, the gold coins everywhere. It's cute. But the thing is that without respect, it doesn't mean anything. And people can, be in love, but the moment the respect factor is missing, बहुत मसला हो जाता है. Let's just say that, right? Because I think that should always be the foundation of it, alongside trust, obviously. But I think respect is the number one thing for me. And what I learned, being in a marriage right now, I can tell you that the level of respect we have for one another, it's the utmost. And it's just something that keeps us going and keeps like the positive love train alive, just because we also understand each other a lot better, right? I think with being in a relationship, it takes a while to get to know one another. It takes a while so having been in the arranged marriage situation, I think it was quick. It was right out of college. So, there was that situation where I didn't get to live my life as me first. I graduated with a degree, but I didn't essentially get to work and have that life experience where I found myself and realized this is what I like, this is what I don't like. I mean, I didn't even know what shaljam was, for God's sake. So, I mean, that being said, I think it's so important to allow people to have those couple years after college, जब वो अपने आप को ढूंढ सकें और जब वो ये देख सकें कि वो खुद क्या चीज है और basically उनकी पसंद उनकी नापसंद क्या है.
बिल्कुल.
जिससे पहले वो किसी और की नापसंद या पसंद में अपने आप को रंग दें और ट्राई करें कि हम उन जैसा बन जाएं या उनकी, like, we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we are trying to prove our worth based on someone else. We need to be worthy of ourselves to ourselves first. And I think that is the number one lesson I could say I could have possibly learned. And it did take, having been in a marriage first and then coming out of it to learn that, because the way you deal with certain situations, being so young and having to deal with a lot, it can take a bit of a toll on you. But having the maturity and the understanding of how to take those on, I think it comes with life, it comes with experience. And I'm in a much better place, thank God, right now, where I can handle a lot more, I can handle arguments, I can handle discussions, I can handle disagreements. And in the past, I just don't think I had as much life experience or knowledge on how to also deal with different personalities. And that's something that comes with dealing with people and dealing with, the times and growing up. And I think I definitely needed that. I needed the time, for sure.
All right. Now, you are absolutely right, Hannah, on the fact that the respect has to be there,
Yeah.
and experience obviously teaches us so much. And I truly believe that it actually begins right from the childhood, the way you nurture the
Mm-hmm.
kids. I think that kind of an exposure,
Oh, yeah.
that kind of a friendly talks and the exposure, the nurturing that you give your child, it all starts from there.
Right now, the world has never seemed more uncertain. The COVID-19 pandemic has plunged us all into uncharted territory, challenging our health, our livelihoods, our economies, and changing the way we live.
We've steered our customers through some of the toughest times in history, and we are well positioned to do so again.
For anyone preparing for their financial future, it's important to choose a partner that's successfully weathered what's come before. New York Life has been successfully navigating the unexpected for 175 years.
Some companies change to stay relevant. We're relevant because we've kept our promises for 175 years.
The relationship that I built with my older daughter, it is so different than my relationship with my younger one will be. So I have a 13-year-old and I have a 2-year-old. So I'm an old parent, but I'm also a new parent. So I'm dealing with sass, but different levels. Like the eye rolling's happening in both areas, but the attitude and the words are coming differently. But when I had left with my daughter at the time, she was quite young. She was 2 to 3 years old. I had to not only work on myself, but I also had to nurture that relationship with her and build on it. And I think that, we do often make a lot of decisions based on our children and, what's going to happen to my kid if I go a certain route and, what's going to happen to me if I don't go a certain route. And you kind of have to put everything in perspective. लेकिन उसकी वजह से जो मुझे strength मिली है, I can't even tell you how that feels. And I think that created such a strong bond between her and I because we did communicate a lot. And, I would say she did have to deal with a lot of conversations at a very young age and come up with a lot of understandings at a very young age that, other children her age don't have to. But when you talk to this child, Avni, and when you hear her deal with the situations and friendships in life today, you'll be amazed at the way she is able to speak for herself. I mean, confidence to ek baat hai, lekin logon ko tasalli dena, even when they're in the wrong, like the type of empathy that she brings out towards her friends or towards anybody, honestly, even when they have wronged her. I didn't have that. I did not have that at 13 by any means. लेकिन I think हम लोगों ने जो एक बहुत ही लंबा साथ गुजारा है in getting to where we are today, it's defined our bond, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things that could have come out of this. I could tell you.
That's wonderful. Absolutely, that bonding has to be there, and that friendly bonding is very important. One message that you would want to give to our moms?
I would definitely say take time for yourself. You need it. We all need it. We all deserve it. Even if it's, a 10-minute break, a 30-minute break. My husband and I do a once a week where he gets to have every Monday night off. I get every Thursday night off, and we just go and we do and we live whatever we want to do. So you need the time. And you deserve the time. So figure it out and make it happen. And I think that'll help.
And one more thing I would like to ask you is how do you keep yourself calm? What is that one thing that just takes you away from everything, And when you start doing that, you are into another world, a world of peace.
One thing that I do, this is funny. It brings me peace. I don't know if it brings the rest of my family peace. I think they're just there like, please stop. I like singing. So I was in chorus throughout school, from as long as I can remember through high school. In college, I tried to join RAG with Rutgers, but it wasn't actually formed yet in New York, so I wasn't able to do that. But singing is something that I do have fun
I
doing,
was
and it brings me a little
actually
chill.
about to ask you that, Hina, because एक
Yeah,
एक
I know.
मिठास है आपकी आवाज में जब मैं आपको जो मैंने आपको सुना है अभी तक. I was actually about
Oh
to ask
God.
you, do you sing?
Oh man, I do for myself. Nothing perfect. I have done voiceovers though.
Oh,
For
right.
actually, yeah, there was one of my friends. She wrote this entire skit on arranged marriages and stuff. So I helped her do the entire voiceover for that, and that
Wow.
went to I think one of the film festivals and stuff. I think she won some awards. It was good.
Amazing. So, Hina, can you sing a song? Yeah, I have come up with a nice challenge for you now.
I knew this was coming.
All right.
I can just remember that I did have a little cold a couple weeks ago, and I think it's still lingering, but
That is,
the raspiness would
that
be.
is perfect. That's going to give a very unique husky texture to your voice.
Oh, there we
So
go.
I'm going to
I
love
can
it.
use
I
it.
can say
I
that
can
right
use it.
now.
I
All
can
right.
use it with my bubbliness here.
Okay, one song.
Okay.
One song, whether
Yeah.
it's Hindi or English. So if you're singing a Hindi song, I want you to sing the Hindi song with English words in it.
Oh God. Hindi song with English words.
Hmm.
Oh man.
You can start off with a Hindi song, and then we can do the conversion, whichever way you like.
Let's do that.
All right.
Because I actually need to think about what some of these words mean.
All right.
I'm like, how do you translate this? Okay, so I could do the Hindi first,
Okay.
and then do the okay. Let's see, the Indian version goes. Ten shagna da chariya aao sakhiyoni vera sajya vera sajya. Right? So that would be Din Shagna da chariya. The day of the wedding has come. The bridal tent set. My love.
Amazing, amazing.
Am I close? मेरा सजना मिले सजना मिलन बधाइयाँ हे साजन डोली लेके आना नी मेरा सजिया. I think that was good. It was like do we need
Awesome.
the English translation for that one?
Fantastic, fantastic, Hina. Beautiful.
Thank
You
you.
have this God gift of such a beautiful voice that you have. Lovely.
Thank you.
So now I can call Hinna Scully a relationship expert plus a singer.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Tell my mom, because she didn't think I would be able to make it. So spread the word. That would be amazing.
Absolutely. Hinna, thank you so much for giving me your time.
you.
Thanks a lot for sharing your experiences with all of us, with our moms.
Of course. Of course. Always and forever. It's what I'm here for.
Lovely.
Thank you
Keep
for having
singing.
me. Yes. Try to stop me. Thank you so
You
much,
take care
Avani.
now,
This was
Hinna.
great.